Hey, what's up? It's Tati, and I'm so excited to talk about two of my favorite things in the world, pro wrestling and horror. I will be discussing movies and TV shows that are in the horror genre that featured pro wrestlers. Now, I'm a classic horror type of girl. I do prefer to watch anything horror from the 1960s or older. However, I can appreciate modern horror as well. Now, for this episode, we will be talking about John Carpenter's They Live, and that did star Rowdy Roddy Piper, who was one of my favorite wrestlers. He's absolutely amazing in this movie. Now, some people have debated that this movie is not horror, it's sci fi. I kind of feel like it's both. But if you're really paying attention, this is something that you can actually learn from, and it might even apply in the future if it doesn't apply now. So there's a lot of social commentary in this movie, and even though it's about aliens, I think most people will look at it as the government is an issue. Now let's talk about the details into this movie. All right, so for this review, I will be referring to Roddy's character as Roddy because we actually don't get to hear anyone call him by his name in the movie. At least I don't remember hearing anyone call him his name, which is actually Nada. So we'll call him Roddy for this review. Now, he is wandering through California from God knows where, and he's looking for employment. He goes to a bank at first, and the lady is listening to his employment history, and she basically shows him the door. Now he's wondering some more, and he hears a preacher preaching about if you open your eyes, you can see that we are being controlled. Now that's pretty much the premise of the movie, and he continues to wonder, and he finds himself at a construction site where there are other men working on God knows whatever it is that construction people do, and he decides that he needs this job, so he goes and asks for it. Now, he gets the job, and ladies, I have to say, you guys gotta appreciate the few seconds that we have of Roddy with no shirt on doing the Lord's work. He looked so good. Now, after working, he has nowhere to go, and we meet a new character, Frank, played by David Keith, who is one of my favorite voice actors, by the way. He lets him know that he knows a place that he can go, have a shower, and have food to eat, and also get a place to lay his head. And when they get there, I'm thinking it's going to be a shelter. It's actually a really big lot where there are makeshift homes for the less unfortunate, where pretty much they become a community and help each other out. So it's not a shelter, but it's something at least. Now, at the end of the day, we do have Roddy who is walking through the lot, and he sees a couple of men who are sitting down watching a press on nails infomercial. And I have to say, they're really into it. Now, throughout the infomercial, there is a bad reception, and some hacker who has gotten through is telling them about these people, these creatures who are taking over, and they don't give a damn about what's going on. They want to see them press on nails once again. Now, everyone who sees this actually complains of having a headache. So the next morning, this happens again where this hacker is back on the TV, and everyone who sees it are complaining about a headache. Now, Roddy, he's not really caring about this thing. What he's more concerned about is the church across the street. There are people coming in and out of that church all times of the night, during the day, and they keep leaving with boxes, and he wants to know what the hell is in them damn boxes. So now, Roddy has made it into the church. He's looking around, and all he can hear is a choir singing. Then he realized it's not an actual choir, it's a tape recorder of a choir singing. Now, when he looks towards the wall, there is a mountain full of boxes, and he's looking at them. However, on the wall it says, "They live, we sleep." Very interesting. Now, he's looking around, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Where's all these people that's been running up and down in the church? Those people who are in the church, they're actually playing the music of the choir to pretty much block what they're really doing inside. And these are the people who's trying to get everybody woke about what's going on with these creatures, these aliens or whatever. So now while Roddy is there, he is startled by the preacher from the beginning of the movie. And the preacher is like, the world has taken my eyes. And I'm just like, holy shit, you're actually blind. Yeah, he was blind, and Roddy was spooked the fuck out. He runs out of the church. However, he's still curious. Now later on, he have his binoculars on and he's watching the church, trying to see what the hell is going on. And Frank is like, look, I have been here in California for 6 months and I've been working my ass off and I've been walking along the white line. That's black people talk for I mind my business so nothing happens to me. You should do the same. Now, Roddy doesn't take his advice and decides to be even more nosy later on that night. He got his binoculars and he's looking to see what's going on. But this time, everybody's running out of the church, booking it into cars and running it on their feet, having all these boxes or whatever. And he has no idea what's going on until he takes the binoculars, looks up, and he sees a helicopter and a policeman on the helicopter ready to shoot. And all hell has broken loose. And we like when all hell has broken loose because that's when the story gets juicy. All right, where were we? Oh, yes. Oh, hell has broken loose. Now, they have a whole police riot. A whole bunch of police come out and they're shooting and they're running after people. And then they bring a bobcat and they pretty much destroy this whole little makeshift community. And I'm just like, what the I was actually really upset. I had to pause the movie because it reminded me of exactly what goes on in California and other places where they have homeless issues. They would literally just take machines and whatever and clear out people's tents and destroy whatever little things people have. And that really made me upset because we actually see things like this go on every day. Now, back to the movie. So now we do have Rowdy who is looking for a place to hide because there is police everywhere. And we get a little scene where the police have cornered all those preachers and all those people who's trying to get people to know the truth about what's going on. They end up putting a beat down on those guys. And I know it's not wrestling, but they're definitely not selling the beat down. Now, Rowdy does find a I guess abandoned apartment building or whatever, where there were other people who were hiding out there and waiting for the chaos to be over. But the next morning, everyone has gone back to the lot, and there is barely anything there that's salvageable. So that right there made me feel like shit. Like none of that stuff had to happen. Now, Roddy, he don't give a damn about that. He's more concerned about what the hell happened at the church. From the outside view, the church kind of looked like it probably got burned from the inside. But when he gets inside the church, he goes exactly to where all the boxes were. Now, on the wall, it has a freshly paint coat where it said, "They live, we sleep." So you can't see that message anymore. Now, he does go to a little small place where he removed the wooden board and there's one box left. He takes the box and he's about to run out the church, but then he see a police officer driving by. So he puts his head back into the church, wait till the police officer drives, and he runs, and he just keep going until he finally finds a place to stop and that's safe. Now he finds a place where there's like an alleyway and there's garbage cans or whatever. He opened up the box and it's sunglasses. And he takes one, but then he puts the rest of them, leave them in the box, and put it in the trash can very neatly. Now, he puts on the glasses and he's walking around on the street, and it doesn't take him very long to find out what the glasses are for. So he got the glasses on, and when he looks at billboards or magazines, he sees the actual true message of those things. So it basically translates to what you're supposed to see, but everyone else without those glasses sees it in the way they want you to see them. Very interesting. And the most interesting part is that when he looked at one of those guys on the street, that guy had like damn near a zombie face. Now, they're supposed to be aliens, but I'm not bothered too much about them looking more like zombies. Now, not everyone looks like this, only some people look like this, and he's not sure why. So now he goes into a supermarket. And in the supermarket, there's even more messages that he sees with the sunglasses on. Oh, and also, everything is like gray, black, and white, kind of like how you would see shows and movies in the uh, 40s and 30s. So that's another very interesting part. Now he's looking around, and the old lady bumps into him. And when she bumps into him, she looks at him and he looks at her. And with the glasses on, he can see that she also has that face too. So then he goes, "Your head looked like it's been dipped in cheese from 1957." And I'm just like, what? That is very specific. And he goes, "When I take off the glasses, she looks normal. When I put it on, she looks fucking ugly." And that made me chuckle. Now, she hears this and she takes her arm. Her arm has a watch. She goes like this and she talks into it. And she says, "I've got one that can see." And I'm like, holy shit. This right here is getting so good. Now, Rowdy sees this and he books it. The rest of the store, they're talking into their watches too. So now they've alerted these people to look for Rowdy, and he's running. And then finally, these two officers, they stop him. But with the glasses on, he can see they're not actual officers. These are people who are looking to kill him. So now Roddy is in an alleyway with these two cops, and he know they are creatures. Now, with the glasses, you can see this. And they know he has on those glasses. So they're like, "Look, we just want to talk. We just want to talk." And Roddy, he don't want to hear that. Now, he does hit a couple of moves on them or whatnot, but then he ends up shooting one of them. And then he realized they might not be human like me, but they die like me. So then he goes and shoot the other one, and both of them are dead. So he goes into the cop car, he gets a shotgun, gets some ammo, gets a baton, and then he leaves onto this remarkable journey. Now, he makes it inside of a bank. And he gets in the bank, and with those glasses, he can see damn near everybody in there are those creatures. So then he goes and say one of the most iconic lines in cinematic history. He says, "I am here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum." And you know what? While I did like that line and I thought it was cute, I was very disappointed to see that he doesn't kick anybody ass. He just shoots everybody because everybody is one of those creatures. Where is the ass whooping? We were promised, Roddy. But don't worry, we do get an ass whooping later on in the movie. So now Roddy is pretty much shooting damn near everything at the bank. And in the corner, there is one of them who was talking into his watch, describing exactly what Roddy looks like. Now, Roddy looks at him and he goes, "Mama don't like tattletales." And I'm like, great, another catchphrase that I can use probably sometime in the future. Now, Roddy goes, point the gun at him, and he goes to shoot him. But then he does something with the watch that makes him disappear. So he doesn't actually get shot. And once this happened, I'm like, holy shit, that's a game changer. Holy shit. Now, with him warning the cops or whoever the hell he called on that watch, now all the cops or whatever are outside already in front of the bank. Roddy books it from the side of the bank, and now he's on the alleyways, and there's actually a drone out there that is tracking him and watching his every move. Roddy sees this and take the gun and shoots it, and I'm just like, holy shit, a watch you can talk into, and drones that are tracking people with a camera. This sounds like 2023. Should I be worried? Maybe. Now we have a woman who is walking through the parking lot of where the bank is at, and Roddy sees this and he goes and tell her to drive. Now he's trying to make sure that the police does not see him, so she's going to keep driving until they don't see any more police officers. Now, once the coast is clear, he sits up and he asks her, "Are you married?" And she says, "Yes." And he goes, "Are you fucking with me?" And she goes, "No, I'm not married." And he's like, "Well, you know what? Then we're going to your house." And it makes sense because if she was married and her husband was at the house, this would be a totally different story. Now they make it to her house, and she has a really beautiful place for a single lady. And I'm just like, holy shit, I want to be on that level. Now, when they get there, he is just messed up out of his mind. All this crazy shit that already happened. He sits down against the couch and he's like, man, the glasses make you feel high as hell. And when you take them off, you just have this headache and you just feel like shit. Now he explains to her all these weird things that happening and what happens when you put the glasses on. And she's looking at him like he's speaking a totally different language. Now she gets up and he's just looking a little suspicious about her or whatever because obviously this is a weird situation. Now she gets up, she gets a bottle of wine and a glass, and she pours a drink for herself. And she goes stands by the window. Now they're making small talk, and she goes and says her name is Holly and she works for a TV station. And when Roddy hears that she works for a TV station, he gets all excited and he goes pretty much crawling over to her, trying to talk and let her know what they should be doing as far as getting this message out there for people who don't know the truth. Then she takes the wine bottle, bashes him in the head with it, and then I guess she launched his ass out the window. And then conveniently enough, she actually lives on top of a fucking hill and he rolls down the hill like a Teletubby. And I'm just like, what the hell? You live on top of a hill? That is just so weird. Now, she gets on the phone and I guess she calls the cops or whatever to tell them what's going on. And Roddy finds himself wandering through California all over again, but he makes his way back to the job site. Now, when he makes his way back to the job site, he does see Frank, and Frank is like, oh, hell no. How many people did you kill? Now, Roddy says, yeah, I killed, but they weren't actually people. I mean, they're not people, so does that even count? And Frank's letting him know that everybody's looking for him. Whatever happens, this is not good. And when you see Roddy's face, it's fucked up from, I guess, falling down that hill. He looks horrible. Now, Roddy, he leaves and he is looking for the spot where he put those glasses in the trash can. When he goes to the trash can, conveniently enough, it's trash day and they're picking up the trash. Now, while the garbage man is not looking, Roddy goes into the garbage truck and he goes to get the glasses. However, the box is broken and most of the glasses have fallen out of the box. So there's only 2 glasses left. He ends up taking them. And when he gets out the garbage truck, there is Frank. Frank has thrown some money towards him and he said, look, this is a week's worth of pay. Do whatever you want with the money. You're going to be dead anyway. Now, he goes to Frank and is like, Frank, put on these glasses so you can see what I've been talking about. And Frank is like, no, I'm good. But he really wants Frank to put this on so you can see exactly what's going on. And that's when we get the ass whooping we've been waiting for. So now we have the scene where Roddy is really trying to get Frank to see what he sees with the glasses. Frank does not want the glasses on. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He just wants to go home. Now, they actually start fighting, like fist fighting. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is actually pretty good. Now, the fight keeps going. And every time it seems like the fight is over, Roddy gets up and says, put on the glasses. And Frank is like, no, and they continue fighting. This pretty much feels like a falls count anywhere type of match, but there's no referees. Now, I'm just like, wait a minute, where's the sleeper holds? Where's the leg locks? Where is the coconuts? But no, we don't get any of that stuff. Now, after what it seems like forever of them fighting, finally, we have Roddy who gets on top of him and puts on the glasses on his damn eyes so he can actually see what he sees with the glasses on. Now, Frank, he got them on and now he sees exactly what Roddy's talking about. He is spooked the fuck out. Now, they go and get a hotel room and they're basically trying to come up with a plan on what is it that they should do next. They have no clue what the hell is going on. Now, while they're doing that, Roddy's explaining, here's the glasses. You can't keep them on too long. They will give you an excruciating headache that feels like a knife going through your head. So don't wear them unless we really need to see who is around us. Now, Roddy is having a heart-to-heart moment and even talks about how he grew up with his abusive dad who always beat the shit out of him and just didn't give 2 shits about him. And that has made him a real man's man. And we're not talking about Steven Regal here. Now, it did feel a little random, but I do believe that this was important for us to know why the character was such a badass. He came from some real rough beginnings. So after leaving the hotel room, they are looking around for a safe space. They actually do end up finding one where there are people just like them who knows about what's going on. When they get there, they see that they're having a meeting and they're talking about what their next move should be. They have the glasses, but the glasses are not really necessary because now they have contact lenses that will make them be able to see like what they see when they have the glasses on, but this time they don't look like people who's walking around with glasses that might know what's going on. So that works out for them. Now there's a whole bunch of guns, there's grenades, there's all types of weapons. However, them just being a small group of people is not enough. So they figured that the best thing that they can do is they need to get on one of those TV stations and hijack it and tell everybody what the hell is going on. And also, there are these transmitters that are making everybody see things the way that it actually isn't. So, if they were able to destroy these transmitters, everybody will be able to see exactly what they should see, which is what they see with the glasses. Now, during this meeting, conveniently enough, this bitch Holly shows up and Roddy sees her. And instead of paying attention to this important information during the meeting, he goes over there to see what's up. Like, dude, she literally like threw you out the window the other day. Now he goes over there and she apologizes. She's like, "Oh my God, I thought I killed you." And I'm just like, "Girl, no, you didn't. You didn't think you killed him. Because if you did, you would have went to go and check to see if he was all right. You just called somebody and did nothing else." Now, after apologies and all that stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I see what you were talking about, and you were telling the truth." Now she's looking at him with her icy blue eyes, looking like maybe she wants to have sex with him or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, this is just so annoying. Then boom, the wall behind them blows up, and it's the police and everything. They're shooting at anything that has a heartbeat. Now, conveniently enough, Frank, Rowdy, and Holly don't get shot, but everybody else end up getting shot and dying. This is absolutely insane. So now we have Frank and Rowdy together, and Holly, I don't know where the hell she went. Now, Frank and Rowdy, they are in a alley, and they're pretty much at a dead end, and they're shooting at whoever's shooting at them. Now, all these police officers are coming towards them, and they're still hiding, and they don't know where to go. And here is Frank conveniently with one of those watches, and the watch opens a portal, but they only have a few seconds for them to get into the portal. Now, they're both scared because they don't know anything about this and have never went through the portal before, but it's either you go through the portal and live for a few more seconds, or you can stay out of the portal and definitely get shot and killed right on spot. So they do the smart thing and get into the portal. Once they get into the portal, they look like they're underground and they don't know how to get to somewhere else. So they keep walking around, trying not to be seen. And then they make this way into something that looks like a ballroom. There's a whole bunch of people there having like a really fancy dinner. Everybody's all dressed up and looking all sharp. While we have Frank and Rowdy looking like they've been fighting their whole fucking lives. They just look really horrible. They stuck out like a sore thumb. However, no one seemed to notice them. Now, they do refer to themselves as the human power elite, whatever the hell that means. Everybody in the room has that alien face. Now, they end up meeting somebody that they actually know at the ballroom, whatever the hell that this thing is, and he shows them around. He shows them how they end up going from place to place, and then he also shows them where they have their news station. So this is basically the headquarters for them. Now, they're exactly where they want to be. They're at the headquarters, and then they ask the guy, "Hey, can we like go to the studio? We want to see how things work." And the guy's like, "Sure, okay, you guys can go." Now, before he can let them go, they have to get through the security. The guy tells the security, "Hey, is it okay my buddies go into the studio?" And the security guard is looking at him like, "I know you fucking lying. Do you guys have an access card?" And Rowdy and Frank look at each other and they're like, yes, we have an access card. They take out their guns and they shoot him. And I'm just like, holy shit, I love that. So now Frank and Rowdy has made their way through the studio and they're asking all the employees, how do I get to the roof? Nobody really wants to answer them. And guess what? They don't want to answer them because they have guns. People are scared of guns and that's why they're running away from them. Then finally, a lady answers and tell them how to get to the elevator. But instead, they got to the stairs. Once they get to the stairs, they got to make up those flights of steps. Now, they're still asking people, like, how do we get here and there, or whatever. And then Rowdy randomly just asks a lady, where's Holly? What? What? Why are we asking about Holly at this point? Fuck her. Let's get to the roof and destroy those transmitter. Now, conveniently enough, while they're trying to get to the roof, they actually see this bitch Holly. Now, Holly ends up running with them. They're making their way through the staircases as they get all the way to the roof, and then they're shooting security guards as they get there. So now there's one more flight of steps to go, and there are 3 fake-ass G.I. Joes standing there. So then Rowdy, he ends up shooting all 3 of them, and he gets so excited and he runs off, leaving Frank and Holly on the staircase, and he runs up to the roof so he can go destroy the transmitter. What happened after that, though? We have Frank who was about to take another step, and Holly is like, not so fast, bitch, and she shoots him dead in the head. Holy shit, I should have seen this coming. Now, Holly, she makes her way up there. Rowdy thinks that Frank and Holly are behind him, but it's just Holly. Now, Holly says, look here, you should stop what you're doing. Don't even think about touching those transmitters. Whatever is in your mind, don't do it. You're not going to be able to win this. You're not going to be able to beat them. Just come with me and everything is going to be okay. And instead, Rowdy turns around, shoot the bitch, and then he goes and destroys the transmitter. Next second, he gets shot. And before he can actually close his eyes and die, he gives those people in the helicopter who shoot him the middle fingers. And I'm just like, holy shit, that's my dog right there. I love that. Now, does this whole thing work out in the end? Well, sort of. Now, he was able to destroy the transmitter. And from there, everyone in the world is able to see the world for what it truly is. And they don't need the glasses to see it. And they actually show in the end where people are finally able to see that. So now they're looking in the room like, holy shit, what the hell is all these creatures in the room? People are finally seeing things for the way they are. And I really enjoyed this movie. So with this movie, I thought it was fun. Now we do get a lot of cheesy things that you would see in a typical horror sci-fi 80s movie, but I really do feel like in terms of a message is really clear here. And while I did see this movie while I was much younger and the visuals were scary, there was no way to truly understand what the story was about. And now watching it in 2023, this hits so differently. It really makes you think about the world we live in today. Now, I did enjoy Rowdy's acting. I didn't really care too much about everyone else in the movie. Frank was all right too. But yeah, it would have been cool to see a sequel with this and what ends up happening after. Obviously, I don't see anything about a sequel. I would have loved to see how things would unfold after people are finally awoken to the truth. It would have been real cool to see how world would have changed after that. Guys, thanks so much for watching this review. I will be back with another movie, this time with CM Punk and The Girl on the Third Floor. Bye.